I said, hail, my brethren. You want to read a book that's going to take you on a journey while you're looking at it. This is called Wanted by Mark Millar. Fantastic book. I reread this book, I would say, once a year or so, nearabouts, maybe once every 18 months. I just love the way this guy, he descends, okay? That's what this story's about. It's a guy who's basically a cuck. His whole life is trash. He's abused by his black boss, a female boss. He's cucked by his girlfriend sleeping with his best friend, and his life is trash. And then he realizes that he's actually born to be a supervillain. His father was a supervillain, and he's a supervillain, right? I mean, he's going to follow in his footsteps. And the shit he gets into, this book would never be able to be in print today. It just wouldn't. Never. This is a book that will never, ever, you cannot put this out ever again. This is my best friend having sex with my girlfriend over an IKEA table I picked up for a really good price. Oh, you're a cuck. All right, so basically this dude has got straight out of the bat, right? Straight out of the gate. He is straight off the bat, straight out of the gate. He is a total cuck. This is his girlfriend. She looks banging. Man, I love these kind of women, right? You know, you ever date one of these kind of goth, sexy ladies? You know what I'm talking about? They just want to, and that's what it is. All right, so you got a beautiful girlfriend, but I mean, she's a nasty piece of work, and she's banging your best friend. Even your best friend is like, what? This is me meeting his best friend 2 days later and pretending not to know about it as we enjoy some really nice Korean food together. This book, all right, so you're going to paint a picture here of a guy whose entire life is a disaster. And it reads like Chuck Palahniuk, you know, in Fight Club kind of stuff. This is me taking shit from my African-American boss. Man. This is, I mean, you're like a skinny white dude, and you got to listen to this lady. You know what they're like, man. God, I would never. Kills you, man. You're working in a cubicle. This is your life. So you're in a cubicle, getting cucked. All right. Comes out of work. Most weekdays, these semi-literate cholo Fs meet me off the bus and walk behind me hurling insults about my baggies and my old school Pumas. He's getting harassed when he comes out of work. His life is trash. I love this book, man, because it's a depiction of a guy, okay, who hasn't felt there when you're just at your lowest. You're at your lowest. And this guy gets an out, right? He finds an out. So he's got nothing going for him whatsoever. But he's going to find it out. And when you find out what that out is, and then the way he descends into that, he finds out that his father was a supervillain. All right, so just to take you back here, his life, he's being cucked straight out of the bat, man. That's straight out of the gate off the bat. He's being cucked. That's why I reread this thing. I think it's an inspirational story. You know what I mean? I think it's a totally inspirational story. I think Mark Millar's got a lot of flack for this book, and it would never be able to be put out again. Like today, in today's climate, this book would never be able to be printed again. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't, because it's where he goes, where you're going to see Wesley go, right? Where this fellow, right, who's drawn just like Eminem, right, where he goes is going to be dark, super dark, and but I would say realistic in a way. It's like, you know what I mean? When you've been abused by life like this in every way, something switches in you. It can switch in you. You know, it can. And it's like you just don't give an F anymore about nothing. And morality and everything just gets thrown out the window. And this book depicts that. He finds out he's a supervillain, then he does supervillain stuff. But it's gritty, so he's going to get nasty. But his father's died, and now he's just, like, it's still about his life. And he's about to find out one of his father's associates. She's going to find him. And she's basically going to train him to be a supervillain. She's going to first break him down mentally. Right? She's going to basically first break him down mentally. She's going to be like, you need to let go of your morality, of your principles. You need to descend deeper into this darkness with me and realize what you are. Remember me, Wesley Gibson? If I look tired, it's because I was up all night consoling Lisa. That's his girlfriend. After she broke down and confessed to effing 11 coworkers in the 22 months we've been together. I love this, man. I love this. It's like you are married to the biggest slut on the planet. This is where you're at, man. Your life is trash. It's garbage. I want us to try for a baby, Wesley. I'd feel more attractive if you made a commitment and wouldn't need the validation of these constant affairs. But how can we bring a baby into this? She hasn't even shaved her legs since last Christmas. How can I get out of this job? How can I get out of this relationship? I should have been an effing millionaire by 24. By 10 a.m., I'm already browsing the internet again, trying to find an answer to the worrying levels of the chronic fatigue that I've been feeling a lot lately. Hey, what's this you're looking up, Wesley? KuKluxKlan.com or www.smallwhitedicks again? His black boss just busting his balls. This is it, man. It's Wesleys Life. At noon, my best friend calls and cancels our Korean lunch appointment because something unexpected came up. Is Lisa with him, I wonder? Is she sliding her chubby hand into his brand new Sean Paul's to get over this string of goddamn fights we jokingly call a relationship? You're a cuckold. You're being cucked. You're being cucked every day of your life, Wesley. Right? He shows up at a diner. Why am I 24 years old and popping more pills than your average octogenarian? This guy's medicating himself. He hates his life. And this is where it changes. He's at a diner. Right? He's at a diner and you got the Fox now. She shows up. All right, he's just ordering his normal thing. She shows up. And that's it. She just blows everybody away in this diner. She just blows them all away. And here he is, right on the ground over here. Jesus Christ. Now get in the effing car while I still got this little Miss Patient smile on my face, asshole. You and me got a mother effing business appointment. And boom, his life starts. This is it. This is it. This is the moment everything changes for him. All right, so he's taken back to this supervillain lair, and his father's got an inheritance. He's got an inheritance, right? His father has left an inheritance for him, for Wesley, but there's stipulations and nothing free in life. Here he is. So he goes, you mean I'm a multimillionaire just like that? And then you got this professor over here. No, I'm afraid it's not that simple, Wesley. Your father left some very specific conditions with his inheritance, and I can't part with a cent unless you agree to comply. What kind of conditions? Well, it seems he wants us to compensate for all the effeminate affectations you've picked up over the years from your neurotic single mother. He wants us to employ you for 6 months, lick you into shape, and essentially teach you how to be a man, my boy. I love that. This is exactly it, right? He's a product of a single mom. He's never had a father, never been beaten, never been taught how to be a man, and now he's got to be broken down and start from the ground up again. And this is the part for me, this part of the story that really does it, man. This is it. This is the part of the story that does it. His dying wish was that at the end of our time together, you'll be in rather more control of your life. Either that, of course, or you could go back to being bitched at by your African-American boss. This is ridiculous. How could I be a supervillain? I never even been in a fight, for God's sake. But you're a natural, Wesley. Your talent for death is written all over your DNA, and that's why I want you as my own personal bodyguard. So it turns out that he's inherited his father's gift. He's got killer instinct. He can shoot unerringly, and he doesn't miss. He's a killer, man. He's born to kill. That's what he is. He's born to kill. And his father's name was the killer. And he's the killer now, the son of the killer. He's a killer as well. And this is where the story takes an amazing turn. It's how do you break down this fellow who's got everything wrong in his life? He's a cuck. He doesn't stand up for himself. He's a pussy. His entire life, he's a pussy. So how does it happen, right? What do they do to him? Yeah, good question. So he goes back to his work, right? So he's got to get his mind right. He's got to get his mind into the mind of a supervillain. He can't just, he's not a regular dude anymore. He's not just somebody who's going to take shit from others anymore. He's got to be something different now. He's just going to be a supervillain. That's his inheritance. He's a supervillain. Okay, so this is what I love. It's the exploration of the dark part of yourself. Okay, the darkest part of yourself. And yeah, like I said, how can this book be made today? It just can't, because these SJWs and the rest, man, they'll just shut it down, because you can't explore the dark part of humanity in a book. You just can't do that anymore. In a comic book, it would be seen as abusive to women. And wait till you see what he gets up into. All right, so here, I really want to do it, Fox. I want you to teach me how to say F you to people just like everybody else does. And then she's on the phone. She goes, what do you mean, Wesley? You got to be a little more specific here. I want to be a supervillain, Fox. I want you to teach me how to be a bad guy. You do, huh? Well, first thing begins right now, little man. I want you to stand up, throw your papers in the air, and give a big almighty F you to all those asshole number crunchers around you. You're kidding, right? It's up to you, Mr. Gibson. A place in your daddy's super criminal fraternity, or a lifetime essing the D of that fat lesbian boss you like so much. I just love this shit. Man, I love this shit, right? He's got it. What's it going to be? He's got to decide. What do you want to be in your life? Mother effer, right? What do you want to be in your life, dude? And you can see his eyes. You can see the way he's drawn. It's great, man. It's fantastic. This is Halle Berry, of course, right? She's drawn like Halle Berry. He's drawn like Eminem. He's going to have to shave his head in a bit. He'll look just like Eminem. But now he's got to get tough. So he's going to start getting worked on. He's going to get beat up. I spent the mornings working out and the afternoons getting worked over by the biggest bastard I've ever laid eyes on. Just getting beaten up, his face rearranged. How else are you going to lose this fear of getting punched in the face, huh? After 3 weeks, I've lost 4 teeth, fractured my jaw, broken 3 ribs, and personally killed 12,817 farm animals. Yeah, he's getting used to killing. He's killing cows. Okay, he's descending into the darkness of man. That's what he's doing. He's got to get used to taking beatings, giving beatings, killing things. Week 5, they finally take the handcuffs off. Good morning, Wesley. You ready for your daily shit-kicking short ass? And then he murders this dude, the dude who's been beating him up, because that's his first human kill. How do I feel? He's asked. Like I just effed Marilyn Monroe without a condom. It's true what they say. After the first, it just gets easier and easier. In fact, it's a lot like eating Pringles in the sense that you're not even sure you can stop sometimes. I love this shit, man. It's great. It's very realistic too. Okay, so at this point now he's killed people before, right? Well, he's killed already now. So now what he's going to do, he's a supervillain. He's going to start killing. So he's got his sniper rifle. He starts just killing random strangers. I wanted to take down the real assholes first, but the Fox made me start on various random strangers. I didn't realize just how much I hated the human race until I had the effers swanning around between my crosshairs. Starts taking him out. Next up were people who pissed me off as a kid. My old geography teacher, the girl next door, the guy across the street who kicked my ass for scratching his old Mustang. The chick who said no when I asked her to a movie, that guy who set his dog on me, that shithead in science class who ruined my best sweater with a stupid fountain pen refill. Can you believe that I raped an A-list celebrity and it didn't even make the news? That's how deep the fraternity, the criminal fraternity that he's a part of, goes, my friend. Consequences are a thing of the past. That's right. They're part of a criminal fraternity that actually controls the world. All right. Personally, I just can't believe I wasted all those years eating goddamn effing tofu burgers. And that's where I would say like some of this stuff is unrealistic in this way. It's like a criminal fraternity is running the entire world. But what I like is the journey that this fellow goes through. right? To me, it's worth it. It's kind of that suspension of disbelief, just to see the journey that he takes, that Wesley takes. All right, so here we are. Now he's really become a villain. You know what I mean? He's raping, he's murdering, he is stealing. He doesn't care. He's a supervillain. That's what he is, you know, and he can kill on demand and there's no repercussions. So that's what he does now. And now he goes back to his house just to, I guess, close up whatever's left of his life with this Lisa. Oh, please spare me the indignation, Lisa. Like you haven't been effing my best friend for the last year and a half? What? It's okay. You don't have to lie anymore. I shot him in the face and dropped his body in a dumpster last night anyway. Christ, Wesley, can't you see how delusional you're becoming? Can't you see you're in the middle of a nervous breakdown here? And this moment, this is it. This is the moment, right? That captures exactly where he's at mentally. No, I'm not. I'm having the opposite of a breakdown. I'm having a goddamn kickstart, Lisa, and I never felt better in my life. I know exactly what he means. It's like a revelation, you know what I mean? He's just torn off that old shell of a life. And he's just here to F things up. He doesn't care anymore. Your petty morality doesn't constrain me anymore. That's what he's saying. It's all gone, man. All that's gone. You're really going to throw it all away just like that? Throw what away? We never really had anything. We just sat home watching television every night and fucked like old people once a month. He's done. Man, this book, when it ends, it's just like, holy shit. It blows your mind because it takes you out. Man, it breaks the fourth wall right at the end. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, man, what a ride. What a ride, man. The end is friggin' fantastic. It wakes you up. It wakes you up. That's what it does. This shit wakes you up. All right, so let's look at some reviews, right? So, of course, this book can't be made anymore, right? There's no way it could be made anymore. All right, so let's look at this Goodreads. Just some reviews for this thing, man. These are years old because this book came out in '08 or something. There was like 6 issues. All right, so let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, there's a movie by the name Wanted, right? But it's not even close to the same thing. It's with, what's her name? The Skeletor-looking lady. The hell, she used to be so pretty in Hackers. Angelina Jolie, right? But now, die looking at her. All right, anyway, so looking at this, that movie's nothing like the book. Don't even think about the movie when you're looking at the book. Why does this speak to you? Why does this speak to a lot of people, this book? I would say it's because there's a lot of truth in it, right? Men are taught these days to be weak, to be soft. And this guy, Wesley, he's the fullest expression of that kind of mentality, that thinking. He's got to deny his toxic masculinity. You know, who doesn't want to be toxic? It feels great to be toxic. All right, so here are some of the things I found in this comic. Oh, man. If you are a much bullied and harangued individual, then you should break free and kill everyone who ever irked you. Why wouldn't you just want to... If you're bullied and harangued like that, why wouldn't you want to break the people who do that to you? I don't see the problem with that. The definition of a good life is driving fast cars, fornication, both forced and willing with anything that moves, and killing anyone for sport. Oh, man. The way to look cool is to be a racist and in mouthing the worst slurs against women, various racial and ethnic individuals, nationalities, and also killing, raping, mutilating anyone you feel like. Pretty enlightening stuff, ain't it? Highly recommended. 5 stars. Get this book, Wanted, by the trade. It's on Amazon, the trade. You can get it anywhere. Buy it at your LCS if they're open. If you're just looking for entertainment, you want comics that are not SJW, they're not about social justice and the rest, but you want to be entertained, Vestige is the book for you. That's what we're working on right now. I got Gat Hanzo, incredible writer, Doodle Bags, amazing artist, working on this. Of course, Jason Lewis from Vestige 1. And Vestige 1 fully delivered now. This is the book to get if you want comics free of political messaging And nothing like Wanted, where it's so, it's just so in your face and adult content. It's not like that, but definitely just entertainment. You know what I mean? Vestige 1 hit 106K. Incredible. Thank you for your support, brethren. I'll drop the link in the chat. It's still available to buy if you haven't gotten it. And it is shipping right now. This is what the book looks like. So, yeah, this will be shipped to you immediately as soon as you buy it. And, of course, Vestige 2 is now available, and that will be shipping. We're looking at about September, October. We'll be shipping that out. So, yeah, there it is, man. Vestige 2, check that out if you want books free of political messaging and just get back into entertainment. Then this is what we're looking at. And remember, man, get out there, explore your dark side. I wouldn't say give in to it, but definitely explore it. In this book, you'll see the main character, Charlie. He has to actually, there's a relic that he finds, and that actually starts to change his own mind in some kind of way like that. He starts to realize that there's elements of his own darkness coming to the surface. So there it is, Vestige 2. Hail, my brethren. Hail the chat. And of course, we stream on D Live twice a week. That would be Wednesdays and Sundays, evenings, Eastern time. That's Wednesdays and Sundays, and the link is in the description. And the link is in the description for Vestige. Hail the war campaign. Hail my brethren. Hail the chat. Hail brothers.